Some of you might remember back to when I built this, put this one together, this NAS, based on the GA-H55M S2H motherboard with the i3 on it. Well, I'm going to be pulling all of this stuff out and putting it into a new case, and that new case happens to be this over here, which is a defunct Acer Aspire of some description or another that had an i7-870 in it. Would really have rather had that board, but the motherboard had failed. It would not recognize an external video card, and whatever went wrong was sufficiently wrong to make the chipset's onboard video not work either, so that was why this one got junked. But all the fans are still good. It's got the card reader and all that. Actually, this is a more useful card reader because it has the micro SD card slot and all of that. So really, I should probably be taking this case and using it for something else, but I use the card reader so infrequently that really it doesn't matter that much. So it's time to pull all that stuff out of there and put it into here. I'll show you the real reason why I use this case here in a second. It's got some very cool features. Okay, so after a little bit of doing, which is to say I had to change this plug housing to individual housings, as you see there, because this thing was completely incorrect, and what's more is the color codes don't even match up with what each wire does. You'll notice the power switch is red. The, what is that? I think it's the that's the hard drive LED is in green, and the power LED is in blue, which is completely wrong. I thought that was a standardized color coding. I guess it's not quite there yet. But there you go. I did change that. And the other thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to swap this entire drive cage between the two cases, because I think I could get away with that. It's exactly the same drive cage, which is interesting. But so there's your feature set, really. You can see it's just a standard micro ATX mother case. I'll try and get that out of there. But the big feature that this has is not just the card reader on the front, which you can see there, but also this bay right here, which pops down to reveal, oh, what's this? Hold on a minute, this is interesting. If you guess that this is a hard drive bay, you'd be absolutely right. It's not hot swappable, but who cares? So that's really nice, comes with that right out of the box. So I don't need to worry about any 5 1/4 to 3.5 inch bay adapters because it's right there. So I'm going to go ahead and install the power supply and install the cables, and then we'll power this thing up and make sure it still works. Okay, a couple of things that have transpired. Everything is now plugged in. Still need to put the screws in the power supply, but everything in the case at least is hooked up. I can't use the card reader because I don't have enough front panel USB connections, but that's fine. I'm not going to use the card reader anyway. Of course, I'm not going to use the USB ports either. But everything is hooked up. I've done some very basic rudimentary cable management just to keep some cables from getting into the CPU fan. But of course, I'm of the opinion that a computer is meant for using, not for looking at, so cable management's not the most important thing in the world. All that really matters is that your CPU fan is not being covered by cables, and in this case it's not. So there you go. I think we're ready to go for a power-up test. Okay, you can't even see the computer. Well, now you can. I've gone ahead and plugged it in. We're all ready to go. Cabled up, so we'll switch our video switch over, and we'll hit power. See if it blows up. Let power it on. See if we get video. There we go. So it's working. Seems to even be working correctly. So after this is done, I'm going to shut it down and put it back in the server closet, run it back up again, and then we'll take a look at the next part of this little swap. Well, I'll tell you what. I was going to change the hardware in that one over there into the now empty eMachines case right there, but I like the way that this sits, and that eMachines case I know sits a little bit lower, so I'm going to just leave this as is. You know, it looks good, everything's in the right place, everything is just fine, so that's going to do it for the video. So thank you for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And this is CP666 signing off, and I hope to see you next time. Till then.